Why is the Kaaba so important? Because this is the building, or this is the place of earth which unifies all Muslims together. Subhanallah. Just like Allah unifies us, and the Prophet ﷺ unifies us, and the Quran unifies us, the Kaaba unifies us. And anyone that goes to the Kaaba and visits there has a life-changing experience. Wallahi, has a life-changing experience. وَإِنَّ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, indeed those people who were given the book, the Jews and the Christians who were given the book, لَيَعْلَمُونَ. Deep down they know أَنَّهُ الْحَقِّ, that this changing of the Qibla is true مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ, and it came from their Lord. And they knew that if Allah is the one that decides wherever the Qibla is, who is there out there that can go against this? And remember we said before that this was an issue that was raised and objected to by so many groups of people, the mushriks, the Jews, the Christians, others, munafiqs even. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, they know deep inside أَنَّهُ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ, this is the truth from their Rabb. وَمَا اللَّهُ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا يَعْمَلُونَ. And remember, all the plotting and planning and scheming that these people are doing against the Muslims, right? Allah is fully aware of this. Allah is not heedless of the planning that they're doing. يَعْمَلُونَ. And subhanAllah, this is a very powerful verse, because you imagine right at the time when situations are quite hot with the Muslims, what happens is that the last thing you might want to do is to start something which might cause more problems with other communities. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the Muslims, if a rule comes from Allah, you must act upon it. Do not be scared of anyone else. Act upon this rule, and Allah is the one who knows what these people are doing. Allah is fully aware, and Allah will deal with it. So the Prophet ﷺ, he openly told the people the Kaaba has changed, and all the Muslims now began to shift their direction to the Kaaba. Masjids were now being built towards the Kaaba, towards the south. And even till today, the Kaaba is something that the Muslims have been using as their direction all around the world. Now, when did this incident actually occur? This incident occurs, they say, 16 or 17 months after the migration of the Prophet ﷺ. So you imagine 16 or 17 months the Prophet ﷺ was in Medina, and he was facing towards Masjid al-Aqsa, towards the north. And then 16 or 17 months later, so at that time, situation was very tough in Medina for the Muslims. Yeah, the munafiqs were causing so many problems. The Ahl al-Kitab were causing so many problems for the Muslims. They wanted the Prophet ﷺ assassinated. Yet still, this decision that came from Allah, this was a testing point for the Muslims, that do not question Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his decisions.